Okay, Excel guy back again, and as promised we're going to have a look at how we can freeze rows and columns in Excel. So here we have Excel, and when we scroll around, as I go over to the right hand side I can no longer see my header column, and actually what I want is I want this header column to stay visible all the time, and likewise when I scroll down my header rows actually disappear. Now I may want to see all of that. So what I do is I go into View first of all, and then under Freeze Panes I've got three different options. So I can choose to freeze the top row or the first column. So if I freeze the top row, when I scroll down my header row now stays as it is. But in this instance that's not the useful header row, that's actually a title row. So I'm going to unfreeze those panes. Let's freeze this first row, sorry, the first column, and you'll see now that's more useful. When I scroll to the right, that stays visible. But what I actually want is I want this here to stay visible. So I'm going to unfreeze, and now this time, before I click on freeze, I'm going to click in the first of the cells that I want the movement to start in. So that one there is going to be a moving cell. Anything this direction and this direction. So if you imagine if I'd selected an area like that, going all the way to the end of the document, that would be my movable area, and everything else will stay fixed. So all I'm doing is selecting the top left hand corner, and now rather than the top row or the first column I'm just going to say freeze panes, and it's based on the current selection. So I click there, and now when I scroll down you'll see my header row stays visible, and when I scroll across my header column stays visible as well. To unfreeze, you come back and unfreeze, and now they can all disappear. Now, what do you think would happen if we had, for example, quite a lot of stuff in the header here, and perhaps quite a lot of stuff over there? In fact, let me just take that back. What I'll do is I'll add in an extra column, and I'll stretch this one across. Okay, so now you see that the actual data, if we did it the same way and went to freeze panes, now when we scroll it's only actually a very small part of data that's moving, which actually is quite awkward to work on because we've only got this tiny window here as a working window. So let's not do that. Let's first of all navigate to where our headers, header row and header column, are just visible on the screen. Now if we click in that cell and go to freeze panes, now when I scroll up and down and across, my header rows stay exactly as they are. So those are locked in position. Even though there is something else, they are now locked in position, and my movable area is as before, but I've got a much bigger part of that movable area on the screen. This is Excel Guy. I hope that's been useful, and thank you for listening.